cool would a futuristic bounty hunter type game be? Hello and welcome back to my channel here. I kind of just make videos about ideas I think are cool, or even just really random ass ideas that I kind of come up with late at night when I'm laying in bed and I should be sleeping. And normally it's like right when I'm about to fall asleep I think of like my best ideas. That, and weirdly when I'm in the shower actually. Normally, when I come up with an idea before I sleep, I just roll over and kind of write whatever idea I just thought about into my head. I just write it down on a piece of paper or like on my phone. Um, but the idea for this video actually popped into my head shortly after I started reading Philip K. Dick's absolute fucking doozy of a book. It's called Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? It was written in 1968, and it would later become the inspiration and pretty much the entire screenplay for Ridley Scott's critically acclaimed sci-fi movie Blade Runner. Now I do understand why most of the source material hasn't been changed that much when it was being adapted into Ridley Scott's film Blade Runner, mostly because the world that Philip K. Dick was able to create in his novel was just too good really to meddle with. And from here on out, I'm just going to be calling it Androids, the book that is, just for convenience purposes. The fact that the world and general setting that Dick wrote about in Androids was just like that good. It also wouldn't really make too much sense in the movie if too many things were changed, but in the movie some things of course were changed or just completely left out. In Androids, the story takes place just shortly after a devastating world war called Terminus. The setting is in the Western American Bay Area, or really just post-apocalyptic San Francisco and the surrounding states like Oregon and Washington. Terminus has basically scorched the Earth, and most of the world's elite and prestigious people have fled to space colonies, just like across the known solar system, and more importantly, Mars. Now, on Mars, it is legal and widely accepted to own androids. But these androids look like identical to humans, and shit, as anyone would guess, these androids don't really exactly like being slaves to a bunch of snobby rich people. And because they don't appreciate being slaves, eventually some androids find a way to escape the Red Planet and they hitch a ride back down to Earth, where they hope they might live peacefully and like rent-free, since most of them are like hiding out in abandoned buildings. But it is really anything but peaceful, since down on Earth the existence and use of androids is completely illegal. Aside from like some businesses in the book have androids, and that mainly being the Rosen Corporation, who actually create the androids. Any androids that have escaped and migrated to Earth are vehemently hunted with the purpose of retiring them, also known as forcing them to eat a lead sandwich. Here is where our main character, Rick Deckard, comes in, which is also the man our well-known and universally loved and beloved actor Harrison Ford plays in the movie adaptation, Blade Runner. Rick is a bounty hunter, and this is kind of where the plot synopsis for Android ends, and I begin to talk about how fucking cool it would be to play in a video game where you're tasked with hunting and killing highly dangerous and intelligent androids hiding and masquerading as humans. Just think about all the dope fucking quests that would be in a game like this. It's like if Cyberpunk actually followed through with what they promised, we could have a game that employs some of the same things that made the Batman Arkham games unique. A game like this would probably be, of course, open world, but it really wouldn't have to be. It would utilize a faction system, much like what was used in Cyberpunk. The open world would be similar to Grand Theft Auto for obvious reasons. You would have your own hover car that would be issued from the police department you work for as a bounty hunter. The hover car would operate similarly to how the hover cars operate in the game Jak 2, with 2 lanes of traffic, one being in the air surrounded by other hover cars, and then one being on the ground level for like slower traffic in hover cars, and also for regular automobiles that still have tires for the poor people of the city. It also would be cool to have like no hover zones wherever there's traffic or government buildings, and in certain areas in the city like the slums where there hasn't been any new developments in the architecture in years, making the only form of transportation readily available for those people being like old-fashioned cars and bikes. You would, of course, still have access to those types of vehicles like regular automobiles, but the hover car would be like the main source of transportation. Or maybe in this game, you could even have a fucking jetpack or some shit. I mean, it is the future, and you are a bounty hunter, so it makes sense you look like Boba Fett. That would be really, really cool, in my opinion, and being able to ride around San Francisco on a jetpack and fight in, like, aerial battles, like, how cool would that be? Obviously, in Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, the main character works as a bounty hunter for the local San Francisco Police Department. Maybe in this game, the police department could issue the player a partner. Most like, I keep on bringing up Cyberpunk, but in the beginning of Cyberpunk, you had Jackie in the beginning before they massacred my boy.
Look how they massacred my boy.
In that game, Jackie basically stood as like a walkthrough tutorial, but as an NPC, showing you the ropes and like kind of guiding you around the world the player would find themselves in. Maybe the partner could act as like a tutorial in the beginning, telling the player how to complete bounties, showing the player that certain bounties aren't so cut and dry and require some like seriously duteous investigation to ensure that the bounty is actually an android, and make sure that the tip the police or bounty organization got was actually factual, and you're not about to go kill a regular person that someone just didn't like, so they made up a fake tip to tell the police that, hey, this guy's an android, go kill him. But, like, I came up with a whole scenario for something cool like this. Like, imagine you get a tip that someone famous or even someone well-known might be an android, and it's up to you to figure out if they are or not, and then retire them. Maybe come to find out this person slash target is actually a well-known person and is part of a certain gang that maybe happen to be in control of like all the auto body and mechanic shops in a certain part of the city. And the player also happens to get a lot of quests from this certain gang that the target is a part of. So at this point in the story, you're on like pretty good standing with this gang and you have a good relationship with them, affording you some hearty discounts every time you go into the auto body shop to upgrade your shit, like your vehicles and your hover cars and stuff. So your partner informs you that before you make a serious mistake and you go rushing in to ice this target, you better do some hefty research and investigate all the options before you kill this bounty. Even though the reward for this bounty is very high in credits, would that money be worth pissing off one of the largest gangs in the city? And if that bounty isn't a real android, you're fucked and you don't get the money. Now, this is where the really cool part comes into play. Before you kill this bounty target, you have the option to do some really serious investigating and recon before you proceed. Your objective is to find out if this person is or is not an android. Because if this person is an android, the gang they operate in might be grateful that you took an imposter out of their ranks, because in this world, having an android among your crew is a ginormous liability. At any point, bounty hunters and police could kick down their door without a warrant and just try to kill the androids because your gang then is harboring a fugitive, an escaped android. And well, if this target isn't an android, like I said earlier, you're fucked. You don't get any money, and now you have a huge target on your back because you just killed a well-known member of a certain gang, and now that gang wants to kill you. So, you go and you find out where the bounty lives, where they work, and where they frequent. You start talking and asking questions to anyone that's close to this bounty, or person, whatever. Maybe you start poking around in the gang, and you're trying to figure some things out. Remember, you need 100% proof. You go to where the bounty lives after your partner confirms they just saw the bounty at work, and you start snooping around their house. Eventually, after enough searching, you're able to hack into the bounty's computer and you stumble across a conversation between the target and some of their friends. You find irrefutable evidence that this person is, in fact, an escaped android from another planet. And now your investigation into this matter just paid off in dividends because 1, you figured out that the target is, in fact, a bounty, and 2, you found proof that this target is, in fact, in cahoots with at least 4 other androids that are here in the city, hiding out somewhere. Now you have a couple options. You can stalk the target a little to find out maybe if they will go meet up with their other android buddies, or you can confront and kill the current bounty and maybe see if a little torturing or talking might make them spill the beans on their other little android pals that are here in the city. Or maybe you could pick neither of those options and just kill this bounty and collect the reward, and maybe you'll run into their other android friends a little down the road. But who knows, those friends might already be looking for you at that point, angry that they are in fact being hunted down and one of their friends is now already dead. I don't know, that's really all I have to say. I think a game like this would be really, really dope, and I've been thinking about it for a while now. But yeah, you guys know the drill. I don't make games, I only talk about them, and I daydream about how cool the imaginary games I come up with would be if someone with more willpower than I were to make them. I try to keep these videos a little bit shorter because I work a job now, and if I didn't, I'd be here all night and wouldn't be able to push out more videos. Hey, I mean, we'd all be here all night if I made this video like 5 hours long. So let me know if you guys like these types of videos, and I'll tell you all about the other cool ideas for games I have. I'm probably going to do that anyways, so just let me know if you like the video, and if you like the content, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps the channel a lot, and I really appreciate it. Also, if you make videos as well, drop a comment, and I'll subscribe to you as well, you know? We all got to support each other. So, yeah, have a good rest of your day or night. Take care, guys.